Cadel Evans signing in for the final day of the Santos Tour Down Under, his final multi-day race, in third place overall behind his teammate Rowan Dennis. The city of Adelaide resplendent for the final 90-kilometre stage based in the Central Business District.
Well, everybody seemed fairly relaxed on the start line, but they all knew that this was about a 90-kilometre race. 20 laps of the Central Business District of a circuit of 4.5 kilometres.
The 125 survivors of the six-day tour getting underway for what would be a very fast circuit over the 20 laps. Straight away, a breakaway getting clear of the field of 5 riders.
Yes, but it was Orica Green Edge really put the hammer down at the front end of the main field in that early morning breakaway of 5 riders. Never really got very much more than a 35-second advantage. And that was all because out on the course there were time-second bonuses available.
The damage on the chase back was being done by Orica Green Edge, who were trying to manoeuvre their man Daryl Impey, leader in the II.net point competition, up for the sprint. 1 lap to the sprint, the chase was on, they were swept up, and a perfect lead out by Matthew Heyman put Daryl Impey in the driving seat. He took maximum points and kept himself in the lead in the points competition.
Yes, but the pressure of chasing down that 5-man group allowed another group to go clear almost immediately afterwards, with 6 riders going clear. Lars Boom in the turquoise jersey getting himself maximum points over the Montefiore Subaru King of the Mountain Point.
And in so doing was confirming Jack Bobridge back in the field as the winner of the Subaru Mountains prize. The bell again for the second and final sprint within the race before the final sprint itself, and the breakaway had formed, and this was all good news for Richie Porte, Cadel Evans and the leader Rowan Dennis, because they were retaining their top 3 places overall.
Yes, that was Lars Bak who got himself that point, but the question was, did this group have enough of an advantage to stay clear and surprise the sprinters? But the main field lifted up their pace to 70 kilometres an hour in chase of the 6-man breakaway.
And the organisers put down a special message too, to say goodbye to Cadel Evans, and he really had done Australia proud. Cadel Evans, though, was not going to move up from his 3rd place finish. Nonetheless, for this man, it was a great result. The breakaway continued on, and for a while it looked as though they might succeed. But then they started looking over the shoulders. The peloton were chasing them down. We were heading into the last 2 laps of the day.
And for Cadel Evans, he was looking to try and keep his place high in the overall standings. A nasty crash in one of the corners started to put fear into the main field. One of the riders from Lamprey went down very hard indeed. But what happened was the 6-man leading group were brought back into the fold, and it was going to end up being a day for the sprinters.
Final effort by Manuel Abuero, and then a major pile-up as the field came back together. And this was outside the 3-kilometre rule, so they would all lose time. And trapped in the melee was indeed Michael Rogers, and he would lose his top 10 placing overall.
Team Sky were the ones trying to set something up for their man Richie Porte, who rode at the front end of the main field. He was only looking for 2 seconds in the overall standings, but once the bell rang indicating it was the final lap, it was all down to the sprinters.
Wouter Rippet making a dash for the line here without Marcel Kittel to worry about. Delayed by the crash. Got his first ever World Tour stage victory as he came up on the right of our picture, taking on Heinrich Hausler, the champion of Australia, who would finish in 2nd place. But the winner in the backdrop was Rowan Dennis, winning the race by just 2 seconds ahead of Richie Porte and 20 seconds ahead of his teammate Cadel Evans. It had been a great race.
That was a pretty precarious sprint, but you kept it calm and you had the jump at the end.
Yeah, it was a really nervous race. The whole day, the team was sitting the whole day in the front. And actually, after a few laps, I was a bit tired, so I decided to go back. And one of my teammates picked me up in the last lap and just 1 run to the front.
It was a very fast finish today, over 45 kilometres now, inside of 2 hours. But the team always stayed at the front, never thinking about the win of the stage, but being careful.
Yeah, they rode awesomely again. We couldn't fault them. They sat at the front. They made sure I was out of the wind. Even when I got pushed back, someone always dropped back and pulled me back forward. So hats off to them again. They really have helped me win this and made it a lot easier.
Well, first of all, let's go to the stage winner, and a huge cheer for Drapac and for Wouter Whippet. A big result for this man, his first ever stage victory in a World Tour. Massive crowd enjoying the occasion as well, and now Rohan Dennis can carry his bike onto the stage. He's only the second born and bred South Australian to win this race. All smiles for the youngster, and a big future lays in front of him, that's for sure. And so, as we see a new star in the making, this has been another great race. Goodbye.